Good morning, Hank. It's supposed to rain this afternoon. I'll turn on the dehumidifier to prevent any headaches, okay? I place flowers in front of this picture and think of that smile from the past. Did I take good care of him? Was he happy? My father-in-law, Hank, always kindly looked out for his inadequate daughter-in-law, me. I miss you, Hank, but I'm living strong. I always will. My name is Heather, 29 years old. I moved into my in-laws' house 6 years ago when I got married. I grew up in a traditional household and married through an arranged marriage as my parents wanted. My husband's family also had old-fashioned customs. Some things were a bit out of touch with modern norms, but life wasn't as restrictive as I had imagined. Hank, who was the head of the household, and my mother-in-law Ruth, who sometimes says strange things but isn't harmful, made life bearable. My husband Sam is busy running the family business. Our marriage isn't particularly sweet, and it's disappointing that he doesn't want kids, but we had a generally good relationship. Until Hank passed away. Well, Heather, slacking off again? The weather's supposed to get worse, and it's so humid and unpleasant. You talking to his photo every day is so gloomy. Complaints came from my mother-in-law, Ruth. Her voice seemed to have become even sharper since her husband died. Good morning, Hank. I went outside and saw the flowers you liked blooming, so I got some for you before the rain. I tried to smile. I didn't want her to ruin my good mood from the morning. But Ruth's expression only got more annoyed. What? Showing off those flowers? Trying to say you took care of them or something? Are you implying I'm neglectful? Deep wrinkles appeared on her forehead. I sighed inwardly, thinking she should stop frowning if she's going to use a facial roller every night. You know, Heather, you have no sense. Running the dehumidifier before it even rains? It's a waste of electricity. She implied I didn't consider who pays the bills. She's dripping with sarcasm. Her nagging has gotten worse since Hank died. What used to be occasional odd complaints have become relentless. I thought it was just her loneliness, but lately, it seems she's actually looking for reasons to criticize me. This morning, Sam asked me, "Can you wash and dry my shirts for my trip starting tomorrow?" So I was hanging them to dry when Ruth came in. Hanging them here will dry them the fastest, I said. The forecast said that hang-drying clothes outside was difficult. Oh, what a great excuse! Blaming your lack of preparation on my son? You're a disgrace of a wife. You've gotten quite thick skin since moving here. She scowled, but I wasn't shirking my chores. It's impossible to prepare in advance for a last-minute request. But she doesn't care and keeps nagging. She complained about the humidity, but she's more bothersome than the weather. Worse, she tells Sam twisted versions of these events. Initially, he ignored her, but lately, he's been telling me to make her stop and blaming me for her nagging. This only made Ruth's complaints and false stories escalate. If I confronted her, her shrill voice can be heard outside the house. She also ruins the chores I've done, cutting off Hank's cherished flowers. In the end, letting her have her way and saying, "Yes, I'm sorry," is the easiest way to keep the peace. I'm so tired. Hank, I'm sorry you had to see that. After finally getting a break from Ruth's nagging, I spoke to Hank's photo again. When he had a stroke, she said, "I can't take care of him," and did almost nothing. So I took care of him instead. He always thanked me with a gentle smile, saying, "You're a big help, Heather. Thank you." Having lost my father when I was young, I initially didn't know how to interact with Hank, but he was firm, yet kind. He often thanked me, and his words were never lacking. He was positive about everyday events. One incident stands out. Early in my marriage, when I was still getting used to the kitchen in this house, I forgot to turn on the oven with the meat inside. I was bracing myself for a scolding, but Hank said, "A meal tastes even better when you're really hungry. Let's wait patiently." He even thanked me for the meal. That eased my mind, and he remained the same even when sick. He kept saying thank you during my first experience with caregiving. He was like a real father to me. That's why, even after his death, I talk to his photo every morning and worry about the temperature and humidity before it rains. With Ruth's increasing hostility, I sought solace in Hank's smile. "Hey, Heather, what's this? It's all wrinkled and dirty." That night, while cleaning up after dinner, Sam brought me the shirt I had ironed and put it in a suitcase. "And what happened in the bedroom? It's a mess. My stuff for tomorrow is scattered. This is ridiculous. I need to leave early." His demeanor had changed since Hank died. He was harsher. Hank had indeed been the pillar of the house. Sam threw the shirt at me in frustration, and I was shocked. "What is this? Why is everything scattered?" I rushed to the bedroom with the badly wrinkled and dirty shirt in hand. What? Rain was blowing in through a wide open window, soaking the curtains. The bed was covered with items spilled from the suitcase. I quickly closed the window and started mopping up the rain. "Oh, Missy?" In the corner, drenched and shivering, was the neighborhood cat, Missy. "Oh, poor thing, you're so wet. Come here, let me dry you off." Despite the chaos, I couldn't leave the wet cat. I gently wrapped Missy in a towel. "I know, you wouldn't do this." I held the softly crying cat. "Hey, what are you doing?" Sam's irritated voice came from behind. "That's a stray cat. Don't waste a towel on it. It probably made this mess. Get it out." Behind him stood Ruth. "This is terrible. The room and your things are ruined. And what's that filthy thing? Using a good towel on it? Unbelievable. Heather, your lack of sense is astonishing." She was more proud than angry. "Caring for a cat that broke in and wrecked the place? What's wrong with you?" Her voice was sharper than ever, and I finally snapped. "Excuse me, Ruth, but Missy didn't make this mess." "What? Of course she did!" But it didn't add up. The shirt Sam brought isn't wet, just wrinkled and dirty. If the soaked cat had messed with it, the shirt and everything else would be wet too, right? The bed was in disarray, but not wet. The shirt was the only thing covered in hair, and the rest was just scattered. Besides, I put the suitcase by the wall, closed. A cat couldn't move it to the bed and open it. Also, Ruth's hand had several band-aids. She didn't have them this morning, meaning she got scratched in the afternoon. Missy must have scratched her. The screen isn't broken, so how could Missy get in? And the only wet spot is where she was. There are no wet paw prints. Someone had to do this on purpose. Ruth backed away, practically admitting guilt. And of course, those band-aids. Before I could finish, Sam yelled, "Enough!" Startled by his shout, I recoiled. "I don't care. Just get rid of that filthy cat and clean up. I'm leaving early tomorrow. Get the guest room ready for me to sleep. Now!" I was shocked, but argued back. "No! This is too much. It's not just a prank. We need to address this." I couldn't contain my anger at Ruth's excessive behavior. but he was relentless.
Shut up! It's your job to handle the house. I don't bring my work home, do I? But you make it impossible for me to rest after coming home tired. I don't care about your problems. I'm sick of hearing every single detail.
He was venting pent-up frustrations from Ruth's constant complaints, but it was unfair. I never complained to him. It's Ruth that's telling him all those exaggerated stories. Why am I being blamed? I'm suffering too. But before I could finish, he grabbed my arm and dragged me to the front door.
Enough is enough. Get out. Without you, Mom won't complain.
I was thrown outside without my shoes. I could hear the door lock behind me. Sam, let me in, please. I called out, but he didn't answer. Instead, I heard Ruth's mocking laughter. A wife is just a stranger. Sam, you turned out well, my baby boy. I could imagine her cruel smile even without seeing her face. Leave that woman outside with that filthy stray. The porch light went off, leaving me and Missy in the pouring rain. Unbelievable. A few days after being locked out, I was summoned to my in-laws' main house. My mother told me to apologize to avoid divorce, but I felt dread. I'll probably get scolded. Maybe I should just ask for a divorce. I haven't heard from them since. When I arrived, I was led to a room where relatives were gathered, making me feel even more intimidated. Ruth and Sam looked triumphant, like they had already won. Maybe this really is about divorce. It seems serious. I grew more nervous as the family head, my grandfather-in-law, entered and spoke.
I've gathered you here to discuss inheritance. Traditionally, the head of the family took everything, but we're changing that.
I was relieved to hear this unexpected topic. It wasn't about punishing me. But Ruth and Sam perked up, pushing forward eagerly. What's the plan for the inheritance? What about the house and the company? The same mouth that called me thick-skinned was now calculating her gains, pushing forward shamelessly. She whispered to Sam, you should get promoted and take over the business. He didn't seem opposed to the idea. Seeing their greedy smiles, I resolved to get a divorce. I could easily imagine my future with them calling me a gold digger, a freeloader, or a burden. It would be better to cut ties completely. They might even be happy to divorce me now. But then,
you two get nothing.
Grandfather-in-law sighed deeply, rejecting Ruth and Sam. And they were both stunned.
The inheritance goes to Heather. You get nothing.
I was stunned, and Ruth and Sam were speechless. You must be joking! She has no right! She ran away! You're divorcing her anyway, right, Sam?
Handling family dispute is a hassle. If we're short-handed in managing the house or the company, it's more efficient and better for mental health to hire help.
He dismissed me coldly. Then, grandfather-in-law pulled out an envelope. A will? He read Hank's will.
If there's trouble after my death, all property returns to the main house. Heather will continue to receive support.
In other words, I would always be taken care of.
No way.
This can't be. They were shocked.
Hank worried about family strife after his death. I laughed it off, but he was right. It's disgraceful how quickly you've mistreated Heather.
He shrugged.
Heather, I'll give you what's necessary for your future. You can stay married or not. Your choice. As an adopted member myself, I understand your position. We'll support you.
His kind smile reminded me of Hank.
No. This is too much. We haven't done anything wrong. We're the victims here. She left us.
Of course they wouldn't accept this quietly. Spitting as she talked, Ruth insisted that I, the daughter-in-law, was at fault.
Enough shame. It's clear.
What? What do you mean? At his signal, a surprise guest entered. The neighbor, Max? He smiled and took out an identical envelope. Hank asked me to report any issues. Kicking her out barefoot in the rain wasn't right. Missy saw it too. Didn't you, you little munchkin? He handed Missy to me. Thank you for the help and the fare that night, Max. I never properly thanked you. Holding Missy, I smiled. You already thanked me with those sweet fruits. Thanks for those. And no need for formalities. Hank helped me in hard times. I owed him. He teared up as if remembering something. We should help each other out in tough times. That's what he always said. He was a good man. The neighbors know you suffered after he passed. We're sorry you had to go through that. My eyes welled up, thinking of how Hank had sown seeds of kindness that resulted in the neighbors supporting me.
Do you still claim to be victims?
He asked Ruth and Sam sternly, watching our exchange with their mouths agape.
You treated Heather like an outsider. If you can't respect her, you should leave. Sam, you're fired from the company. You two can go somewhere else, start from scratch, and learn some humility.
They shrank under his stern gaze.
No.
This can't be. Under the family's cold stares, they had no choice but to leave. Sam struggled to find work, and they both ended up with part-time jobs. I divorced, but stayed in the house with grandfather-in-law's permission, looking after Hank's memorial. The family assured me I could consult them if needed. The neighbors gave us some fresh peaches. Let's enjoy them together. Here, Missy, a little for you too. Surrounded by smiles and kindness, I resolved to cherish these peaceful days.